2 MVPs in the backfield? Surely that's gotta be illegal. Adding a 30-year-old running back seemed like a gamble to many, especially with a mismatched scheme. But should we really be shocked by this superhuman athlete anymore? I mean, come on, bruh. Playing behind the best line of his career, King Henry has sent this ground attack into the stratosphere. In Tennessee, Henry was most successfully deployed in an under-center zone system, where he could use the space to build up momentum for his barreling body and then cut one to daylight. An exceptional second-level runner, this system maximized his chances to hit a hole with pace and create those explosive, game-changing plays. Dominant on the ground since Lamar took over, the Ravens' approach has been of the new school variety, using predominantly shotgun formations, operating a gap scheme option-based offense. These gap schemes were stagnation for Henry in Tennessee, so the hesitancy in blending him in was understandable. However, it turns out when you give him the downhill momentum and block them well, Henry is just as good a gap runner as he is a zone runner. And this was far more of a problem with Tennessee's O-line rather than Derrick himself. Running power right here against Washington, the line works in tandem with him to create a chunk. Baltimore gets a great push at the point of attack, and the interior line is strongly dealt with, giving Henry some space to rumble. Then, check the vision here. First spotting Bobby Wagner has over-pursued to the puller, hitting the open crease in the B-gap to find the grass. That's gotta be a scary sight as a safety. It's more great blocking here on the ISO concept, working perfectly to get the 300-pound fullback, Patrick Ricard, on your chosen linebacker. Henry shows patience to follow the lead, and watch his eyes scanning the gap to see where the linebacker is, then showing nifty feet to cut through the hole. 13 manages to peel off and just get a little bit of leg, or that deadly explosion was coming. And this is really nice vision and cutting on the duo play. The Chiefs commit hard to the strong side, but instead of just barreling in and taking the yards, Henry's eyes are up, and the wheels keep turning, finding space backside, and then going north and south to get every available yard. It's a credit to Lamar that he's been willing and able to adapt to playing under center far more often with Henry in the backfield. And unsurprisingly, Henry is just as good at his favorite zone with the vicious O-line ahead of him. Showing more brilliance, watch Henry's feel for how the blocking will unfold. He knows the cutback lane is there, but understanding how the right guard has collapsed the line and how the linebacker is going to work back to stop it, weaves his way through a crease to find the second level. Safeties just bounce off him at full speed, and he uses the tackle attempt to redirect himself towards the boundary, picking up the block from Aguilar, then carrying the hustling corner for 6. More under center inside zone on the goal line here, this time of the split zone variety. And I don't think Henry hit this many wide open holes in his entire time in Tennessee. He's great at finding the cutback lane, but this one's more of a chasm, leaving the safety to make a wise business decision. Where Henry made his money in Tennessee was on the outside zone, not something Lamar has done a great deal of in his career. So to combine both players' skill set, they've run this as a stretch toss. It continues the trend of getting Henry the ball with the wheels moving, and Baltimore has shown great work in space. This time, it's Likely and Ricard outblocking in space, and watch Henry's excellent second-level vision when you get him there, setting up Damar Hamlin by faking the inside track, then cutting outside a block to get him picked, stepping on the accelerator, and only being dragged down once a hustling Taylor Rapp cuts off his angle. And this is the go-to when the game's on the line. Get it to Henry out wide and just let him use his wheels to carry them home. An effective way to mesh both Jackson and Henry's styles is the pistol formation, giving Henry depth in the backfield to build momentum while maintaining many angles and plays present in the previous scheme. They've always liked the sweep with Lamar. Well, in the pistol, this is a great play for Henry too. The toss gives him time to build up momentum and guides Baltimore's 2 best linemen in Stanley and Linderbaum to the edge to lead the way. With space, watch Henry's vision to patiently wait for Stanley to set up the block, then cut off his shoulder to find every yard available. And here, the pistol and formational alignment give them the perfect spacing for the crunch concept, The line will carry out a series of trap blocks with every other blocker releasing to the second level, as the remaining linemen all trap block left. The unexpected angles open up a lane, and the corner is far too hesitant, expecting a pass, leaving Henry to cut through the exposed gap and take off. The pistol formation can also be used to get momentum for these zone runs too. Spread out here in the pistol, Dallas only has 6 in the box, creating good angles for the outside zone. Henry is aiming off the shoulder of his left tackle and will work back across when the defense flows hard to stop it, spotting a lane and planting hard to cut back and find it. The first man will never stop him at this speed, but the second man shows us good form. And here, again, the pistol opens up better angles for them to operate the outside zone, with Lamar not required to run a stretch to reach him. The blocking, again, is fantastic, and Divine Diablo tries to jump the gap, but miscalculates Henry's speed. The corner manages a shot at his leg, but that only makes him stumble, and that man rumbles for 20 more. And now, a word from our newest partner, OddsJam. Looking to up your game in sports betting? Meet OddsJam, your ultimate ally in the world of data-driven wagering. With over 260 sportsbooks under its belt, OddsJam is the go-to platform for savvy bettors. Here's how it works. OddsJam's arbitrage tool scans the market in real time, spotting differences in betting lines across various sportsbooks. This means you can lock in risk-free profits by betting on both sides of the market. But that's not all. OddsJam also provides a positive EV calculator to optimize your bets and a handy bet tracker to monitor your profits. By using OddsJam, you're not just betting smarter, you're betting responsibly for long-term profitability. And here's the kicker. They offer a 7-day free trial. Ready to give it a shot? Use code THINK for a 35% discount on your first payment, either month or year. Secure your bets with confidence. Make informed decisions with OddsJam. Getting Henry more comfortable away from under-center formations will continue to expand the offense, especially in the option play department. When you're forced to choose between crashing down on Henry or guarding the edge against Lamar, shit, you've already lost. Running rampant over the Cowboys all game long, they go to a split backs formation here and run a zone read. Parsons and the second level defenders have to key in on stopping the muscle of Henry, and Lamar won't score an easier one in his career. Now this ain't Henry's forte, and hopefully they start to incorporate some pistol option plays for the two. But he's been effective enough to continually make teams key in on him. They had Parsons in hell all day long. And although he knows he's got to be protecting the edge here, the split zone action and threat of Henry leaves him diving inside and Lamar clean to the edge, something you cannot afford to do. Even all-time run games need to air it out in the modern NFL, and Todd Monken continues to impress with adaptability to both his players and the league. The drastic increase in under-center plays opens up new angles to attack, with second-level defenders forced to fly downhill to stop the momentum. Ricard motions to complete the eye, and now, under center, Jackson can actually run the bootleg play. We know they prefer the toss for their stretch zone, so Lamar will fake it and then boot outright. The Dallas defense overcommits to Justice Hill, having been beat by Henry all game, and Lamar has an easy completion to Bateman on the over route. In 22 personnel this time against the Chiefs, that's 2 backs and 2 tight ends, the Ravens look sure to be running it. But the NFL is all about breaking your own tendencies, and the defense is forced to step up and play the run first with all those big bodies on the field. Playing under center really sells this fake and gives Lamar space to make a clean throw, and it's a lovely find on the flood concept. And here's that same play with just slightly different spacing. Play action pulls up the second level, and the flood works with a vertical and shallow stretch dragging defenders, opening up the intermediate space for Likely. Lamar's got a clean read and a clear pocket, throwing a beautiful touch pass. Monken's advancements and modifiers often come in the form of formational theory, moving around his chess pieces to get pawns guarding kings and queens. Here, Henry swaps sides in the backfield to give us 4 strong at the top of your screen, and this triggers Dallas to send the weak side linebacker on the blitz with nobody to cover and lock the solo side. With everyone flooding over, Lamar chooses to play one-on-one, timing the out ball perfectly, and Aguilar makes them pay for the single man by breaking the tackle and taking this all the way to the 5. More 4 strong here again versus the Chiefs, as Ricard motions to make it 4 to the top of your screen. But it's more trickery, this time setting up the fake toss off the motion, only to run Y cross coming back the other way. The fake gives enough time to make the defenders hesitate, and Andrews is wide open running away from his man. And here it is again with some extra sauce added. They hurry out the huddle and want a quick snap with the funky 4-strong formation. But instead of this just being an overload split, it's taken one step further, using Ronnie Stanley as a tackle over in the pseudo bunch. Spotting Stanley out of position, the Raiders crash on the fake toss to Henry, leaving Zay Flowers to leak up the seam unnoticed for a bullet pass from Lamar. It ain't just formational theory to create confusion. Monken's scouting of how a team likes to play is next level, designing routes to attack teams at optimum opportunities. The Bills have been a heavy cover 2 usage team this year, but as you get into the red zone, this can become a liability, with teams actively trying to throw into the end zone and you only having 2 defenders to cover it. The Bills show a tendency here, running a quarters coverage in the upper red, and Monken calls a beauty to attack it. Flowers motions across to form a bunch and create a man beater if this is man coverage, but with nobody tracking it and the too high look, Lamar has the quarters read. Bateman will run off the corner, holding him in the safety with a post, and then Justice Hill will run a wheel to attack the cleared out space. He adds a stutter to lose his man, and Lamar has a wide open pocket with which to hit a wide open player. Attacking Dallas's quarters down in the red area, he uses a great route and formational alignment to get another guy wide open. Another 4-strong split pushes Dallas's defenders into the boundary, and from here, it's all great route design. The 1 runs deep enough to get the corner's attention before running a whip. The safety will take the 2 going deep, who cuts out to drag him from the boundary. The 3 will then work on an over route, and the Mike knows he's got a safety poaching over to take him, so gets to his spot and reads the 4. But this isn't an over route, as Bateman boomerangs his route back into the wide open end zone, and Lamar finds him all alone. And here against Washington, he understands how they cheat their cover 3 over to become a cover 6 when they see trips, so hits them with a 4-man flood to attack the intermediate level. 2 players clear out the deep safeties, Henry pulls up the flat, and Andrews finds the space between the levels just as Lamar does, leaving him with nobody within 10 yards of him. Adapting to under-center play has been a benefit to all in the Baltimore offense, playing to personnel, strength, and fighting against their own tendencies. With this, they've gashed teams on the ground and in the intermediate, and then when teams do call the right play or get them backed up, they still got Lamar, who breaks defenses even when they're doing everything right. The offensive line deserves its fair share of credit for producing holes that have helped transition Henry into an all-around runner, as well as Monken and Lamar for not staying stubborn, being willing to change up what they do. They missed a killer shot to put the game away sometimes, with Lamar's footwork still wavering when throwing deep, but teams simply cannot stop them from rotating the chains, especially in crunch time when they get compact and call 8 or 22.